Well, to discuss, I'm joined now on the line by our foreign affairs commentator, Douglas Herbert. Doug, as I said, Denmark already has some of the toughest stances on migrations in the EU. Now it's just going to get tougher.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the latest in a series of moves that have been really just targeting migrants. It's been part of a broader anti-immigrant movement in Denmark. You know, when you talk about these days a fortress Europe, a Europe closing its hatches, battering down, not letting outsiders in, Denmark, perversely, sort of embodies that image the best, more than almost any other European country. We've already seen the government deliberately sort of set as its target a zero refugee target, essentially meaning exactly that, what it sounds like. It doesn't want any asylum seekers or refugees in Denmark. At the same time, there's been a whole debate about ghettos in Denmark, especially in the bigger cities, the capital, Copenhagen, so on and so forth. And this has been talk about targeting or trying to reduce social housing in Denmark for so-called non-Western populations. Let me translate non-Western for you. It means non-white, and it largely means non-European. So you've already had this very sharp rhetoric, which has been perceived in many quarters among the small immigrant population there as being very discriminatory. The UN Human Rights Commissioner has called these policies and the latest move as well a frightening race to the bottom, and says that it really just flies right in the face of all the norms about international asylum cooperation. For asylum seekers to be able to not just get into Denmark, but to settle and stay there if their applications are approved. They would now be sent to a...
The green and white minaret of the Markazi Mosque towers over the surrounding sandstone buildings of the area named after Yorkshire industrialist Thomas Saville. Today, it is almost exclusively Muslims who live among in its terraced back-to-back streets. According to the most recent census results in 2011, so this is kind of out of date now, only 48 of the 4,033 people living here were designated as white British.
So the English, out of all of these people in this area, 48 of them are English.
So that's probably less than 1%.
Yeah.
2011.
Right.
According to his book, within a decade, based on ONS census of the 2001 to 2011 projections, several areas in Bradford, Blackburn, Birmingham, Leicester, Slough, Luton, and some London boroughs will become Muslim majority by 2050. Interesting.
No, there will be Muslim majority.
By 2050, meanwhile, the Muslim population of Britain is estimated to be 13 million. So,
taking hard right, anti-immigrant, migrant, anti-migrant policies and making them the norm. They're now part of the mainstream political discourse. So we have seen Mette Frederiksen, the current prime minister, at the head of a center-left social democratic government, basically co-opting the agenda of a far-right party on immigrants in order to perhaps make her party's positions more palatable to society at large. Denmark being, once again, a small country, fewer than 6 million, not used to mass migration, very white, predominantly white, very used to a nice lifestyle with high taxes but great social benefits. So there's a lot of questions about identity going forward, and these far-right groups are playing into the identity politics, the concerns that mass migration, if it were to happen, could have on identity politics, so on and so forth. The main thing to take away is this type of policy now, Nadia, is the norm. It is mainstream in European political discourse.
All right, really interesting stuff. Thank you very much indeed, Douglas Herbert, talking to us there.